Hello, everyone. It is kind of late to be doing a stream, but I am doing a stream anyway. Um, the reason for this stream will become apparent in a second, or as you can read by the title somewhere. My phone's just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now I can tweet out that I'm live. I don't know how good the connection is. It looks about average. Okay. Looks and sounds about average. So let's just get into it. Ah, my God, I always do that. Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting everything done now. All right, and we're good. Hello. So today's thing is that we are going to be reading some bedtime stories. So everyone get either your favorite stuffed animal or pillow, because it is now Christmas time, so I have this. And I also have a line of stuffies up here. Now, Linnaeus, you know the rules. No, none of that. So, we're going to be reading some railway series stories as, kind of some bedtime stories. So, I don't know what story we're going to be reading tonight. That was really more for you guys to decide. Welcome to the stream. So you guys get to choose what railway series story you want. I have books 1 to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I have the first 14 books of the railway series in here. So if you guys want to shout out a story or something from the first 14 books, so it goes up to what story does it go up to? It goes up to the Twin Engines. So that's the last book that I can read up to. So I can do anything that involves the engines 1 to 10, like their introduction stories. So that does include the missing coach if you're really desperate to hear it. But no. Thomas and the Giant Jelly Coward. Sure. Thomas and Birdie, Thomas Goes Fishing, The Fat Controller's Engines. The Fat Controller's Engines? Is that in one of the books? This is not. It's definitely not in this one. I don't think The Fat Controller's Engines is in this. Yeah, no, I don't think it is. Thomas and the Special Letter. Okay. That might be in the 8 Famous Engines. What page is that? What is the 8 Famous Engines? 404. Oh, because I had the American edition, so it was called Cotton Hat's Engines. That's why. Well, I'm just going to go back and look through all these. Okay, so Thomas Goes Fishing, the Fat Controller's Entries. Can you read the story of lemandberg? I will definitely read the story. I will sing the national anthem. It's not going to sound great because I don't know all the chords to whatever it's called, Hallelujah, but I can definitely sing the majority of it. No, for Real Old Faithful is one of the best stories. The original 14 books. You should read that. Thomas and the Special Letter. Okay, yeah, we got that. Gordon Goes Foreign. That's kind of a boring story. Leaves. What book is Leaves in? I think we should end with the Fat Controller's Engines because that sounds like a story ending one. But you know what? Let's do Thomas and Birdie first. Okay. Gordon the Big Engine, got it. Alright, so Thomas and Birdie should be in Tank Engine Thomas again, which is page 112. Yeah, it's the last story. Alright, we're going to start with Thomas and Birdie. So, I think you guys all know the illustrations and stuff, so I don't think I need to show you guys that. But it is now time for the stories to start. So, get comfy, get your stuffies, get your pillows, get your blankets. It is time to begin. Get your flannel pajamas. It is time to begin. All right, now it's time to begin. Thomas and Birdie. One day, Thomas was waiting at the junction when a bus came into the yard. "Hello," said Thomas. "Who are you?" "I'm Birdie. Who are you?" "I'm Thomas. I run this line." "So you're Thomas. Ah, I remember now. You got stuck in the snow. I took your passengers, and Terrence pulled you out. I've come to help with your passengers today." "Help me," said Thomas crossly, going bluer than ever and letting off steam. "I can go faster than you." "You can't." "I can." "I'll race you," said Birdie. Their drivers agreed. The station master said, "Are you ready?" "Go." And they were off. Thomas never could go fast at first. Birdie drew in front. Thomas was running well, but he did not hurry. "Why don't you go fast? Why don't you go fast?" called Annie and Clarabelle anxiously. Wait and see, hissed Thomas. "He's a long way ahead. He's a long way ahead," they wailed, but Thomas didn't mind. He remembered the level crossing. There was Birdie fuming at the gates while they sailed gaily through. "Goodbye, Birdie," called Thomas. The road left the railway and went through a village, so they couldn't see Birdie. They stopped at a station. "Pip, pip, peep. Quickly, please," called Thomas. Everybody got out quickly. The guard whistled, and off they went. Come along," sang Thomas. We're coming along," sang Annie and Clarabelle. Hurry, hurry, hurry," panted Thomas, looking straight ahead. Then he whistled shrilly in horror, for Birdie was crossing the bridge over the railway, tooting triumphantly on his horn. Oh, dearie me," groaned Thomas. He's a long way in front, wailed Annie and Clarabelle. "Steady, Thomas," said his driver. "We'll beat Birdie yet." We'll beat Birdie yet, echoed Annie and Clarabelle. We'll do it, panted Thomas bravely. Oh, bother, there's a station. As he stopped, he heard a toot. Goodbye, Thomas. You must be tired. Sorry I can't stop. We buses have to work, you know. Goodbye. The next station was by the river. They got there quickly, but the signal was up. Oh dear, thought Thomas, we've lost. But he felt better after a drink. Then James rattled through with the goods train. The signal dropped, showing the line was clear. Hurrah, we're off, puffed Thomas gaily. As they rumbled over the bridge, they heard an impatient toot-toot, and there was Birdie waiting at the red light while cars and trucks passed the narrow bridge in the opposite direction. Road and railway ran up the valley side by side, a stream tumbling in between. Thomas had not crossed the bridge when Birdie started with a roar, and soon shot ahead. Excited, we're getting uncomfortable. I don't know how to sit, so pardon my fiddling. Excited passengers in the train and bus cheered Excited passengers in the train and bus cheered and shouted across the valley. Now Thomas reached his full speed, and foot by foot, yard by yard, he gained till they were running level. Birdie tried hard, but Thomas was too fast. Slowly but surely, he drew ahead, till whistling triumphantly, he plunged into the tunnel, leaving Birdie toiling far behind. "I've done it! I've done it!" panted Thomas in the tunnel. "We've done it, hooray! We've done it, hooray!" chanted Amy and Clarabelle. Whistling proudly, they whooshed out of the tunnel and into the last station. The passengers gave Thomas 3 cheers and told the station master and porters all about the race. When Birdie came in, they gave him 3 cheers too. "Well done, Thomas," said Birdie. "That was fun, but to beat you over that hill, I would have to grow wings and become an airplane." Thomas and Birdie now keep each other very busy. Birdie finds people in the villages who want to go by train and takes them to Thomas, while Thomas brings people to the station for Birdie to take home. They often talk about their race, but Birdie's passengers don't like being bounced like peas in a frying pan, and Sir Topham Hatt has warned Thomas about what happens to engines who race at dangerous speeds. So although, between you and me, I did that wrong, between you and me, they would like to have another race, I don't think they ever will. Okay, so that is that story done. What is the next story? Let's do, because the older Thomas episodes, like not that fun. Old Faithful. We'll do this one. All right. Which one is Old Faithful? Old Faithful is Skarloey. This isn't Skarloey. There it is. All right. Old Faithful. When I was young and green, Peter Sam, little freshman lady. Old Faithful. Here we go. I'm actually going to sit side saddle for this. So, hope you guys don't mind seeing this kind of different angle. All right. So we are now going to be reading Old Faithful. Sir Handel stayed shut up for several days, but one market day, Peter Sam could not work. He needed repairs. Sir Handel was glad to come out. Air conditioner just blew the page. Sir Handel was glad to come out. He tried to be kind, but the coaches didn't trust him. They were awkward and rude. He even sang them little songs, but it was no use. It was most unfortunate, too, that Sir Handel had to check suddenly to avoid running over a sheep. "He's bumped us," screamed the coaches. "Let's pay him back." The coaches knew that all the engines must go carefully at a place near the big station. They were so cross with Sir Handel that they didn't care what they did. They surged into Sir Handel, making him lurch off the line. Luckily, no one was hurt. Sir Handel limped to the shed. Mr. Peter Sam, the line manager, inspected the damage. "No more work for you today," he said. "What are those coaches? We must take the village people home and fetch the tourists, all without an engine." "What about me, sir?" said a voice. "Skarloey!" he exclaimed. "Can you do it?" "I'll try," answered the old engine. The coaches stood at the platform. Skarloey advanced on them, hissing crossly. "I am ashamed of you," he scolded. "Such behavior. You might have hurt our passengers. On market day, too." "We're sorry, Skarloey. We didn't think. It's that Sir Handel. He's—" "No tails," said Skarloey firmly. "I won't have it. And don't you dare try any tricks on me." No, Skarloey, of course not, Skarloey, quavered the coaches meekly. Skarloey might be old and have dirty paint, but he was certainly an engine who would stand no nonsense. His friends crowded round, and the guard had to shoo them away before they could start. Skarloey felt happy. He remembered all the gates and stiles where he had to stop and whistle to his friends. The sun shined and the rails were dry. This is lovely, he thought. Presently, he began to climb and he felt short of steam. Over my tubes, he panted. Take your time, old boy, soothed his driver. I'll manage, he wheezed, pausing for breath at the stations. He gallantly struggled along. After a rest at the top station, Skarloey was ready to start. It'll be better downhill, he thought. The coaches ran nicely, but soon he began to feel tired again. His springs were weak, and the rail joints jarred his wheels. Then, with a crack, a front spring broke, and he stopped. I feel all crooked, he complained. That's torn it, said his driver. We'll need a bus now for our passengers. No, pleaded Skarloey. I'd be ashamed if they had a bus take my passengers. I'll get home or bust, he promised bravely. The line manager looked at his watch and paced the platform. James and his train waited impatiently too. They heard a horse peep, peep, then groaning, clanging, and clanking, Skarloey crept into sight. He was tilted on one side and making fearful noises, but he plodded bravely on. I'll do it, he gasped between clanks and groans. I've done it. And he sighed thankfully as the train stopped where James was waiting. James said nothing. He waited for his passengers and then respectfully puffed away. You were right, sir, said Skarloey to the owner that evening. Old engines can't pull the trains like the young ones. The owner smiled. They can if they're mended, old faithful, he said, and that's what will happen to you. You deserve it. Oh, sir, said Skarloey happily. Sir Handel is longing for Skarloey to come back. He thinks Skarloey is the best engine in the world. He does his fair share of the work now, and the coaches never play tricks on him because he always manages them in Skarloey's way. And that's that story. All right, now we're going to go look at Gordon the Big Engine and do Leaves because I personally really like that episode. This one actually, oh wow, I think I turned to Leaves. That was impressive. Let's just get to the beginning of the story. Here we go. All right, now we're just going to do Leaves, and then I will tell you all the story of Lemandberg via song. Okay. This one is, as I just said, Leaves. Two men were cleaning Gordon. Mind my eye, Gordon called. Wait, who was talking? Oh, okay, it was the cleaners. I was really confused. It was like, no. All right. Mind my eye, Gordon grumbled. Shut it, silly. Did you ever see such mud, Bert? No, I never, Alf. You ought to be ashamed, Gordon, giving us extra work. The hosing and scrubbing stopped. Gordon opened one eye, but shut it quickly. Wake up, Gordon, said Sir Topham Hatt sternly, and listen to me. You will pull no more coaches until you are a really useful engine. So Gordon had to spend his time pulling freight cars. Goods trains, he muttered. He felt his position deeply. That's for you, and you, and you, Gordon said crossly. Oh, screamed the freight cars as he shunted them about the yard. Freight cars will be freight cars, said James, watching him. They won't with me, snorted Gordon. I'll teach them. Go on. And another freight car scurried away. They tried to push me down the hill this morning, Gordon exclaimed. It's slippery there. You'll probably need some help. I don't need help on hills, James said huffily. Gordon laughed and got ready for his next train. James went away to take the express. Slippery hills indeed, he snorted. I don't need help. Come on, he puffed. All in good time, grumbled the coaches. The train was soon running nicely, but a distant signal checked them close to Gordon's Hill. Gordon's Hill used to be bleak and bare. Strong winds from the sea made it hard to climb. Trees were planted to give shelter, and in the summer the trains run through the leafy avenue. Now autumn had come, and dead leaves fell. The wind usually puffed them away, but today rain made them heavy, and they did not move. The home signal showed clear, and James began to go faster. He started to climb the hill. I'll do it, he puffed confidently. Halfway up, he wasn't so sure. I must do it, he panted desperately. But try as he would, his wheels slipped on the leaves, and he couldn't pull the train at all. What's the matter? He gasped. Steady, old boy, steady, soothed his driver. His fireman put sand on the rails to help give him grip, but James's wheels spun so fast that they only ground the sand and leaves to slippery mud, making things worse than before. The train slowly stopped. Then, help, whistled James, for though his wheels were turning forward, the heavy coaches pulled him backwards, and the whole train started slipping down the hill. His driver shut off steam, carefully put on the brakes, and skillfully stopped the train. Oof, he said and mopped his face. I've never known that to happen before. I have, said the fireman, in the Bincombe Tunnel, southern region. The guard poked his head in the cab. Now what? He asked. Back to the station, said the fireman, taking charge, and send for a banker. So the guard warned the signalman, and they brought the train safely down. But Gordon, who had followed with the goods train, saw what happened. Gordon left his freight cars and crossed over to James. I thought you could climb hills, he chuckled. James didn't answer. He had no steam. Ah, well, we live and learn, said Gordon. We live and learn. Never mind, little James, he went on kindly. I'm going to push behind. Whistle when you're ready. James waited till he had plenty of steam. Then, peep, peep, he called. Poop, 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 puff hard, puffed Gordon. Oh, it said pull hard. Whatever. We'll do it, puffed James. Pull hard, we'll do it. The engines puffed together. Clouds of smoke and steam towered from the snorting engines as they struggled up the hill. We can do it, puffed James. We will do it, puffed Gordon. The greasy rails made Gordon's wheels slip, but he never gave up, and presently they reached the top. We've done it, they puffed. Gordon stopped. Poop, poop, he whistled. Goodbye. Peep, 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 peep. Thank you, goodbye, answered James. Gordon watched the coaches wistfully till they were out of sight. Then slowly he trumped back to his waiting freight cars. And that is that story. And you are absolutely right, Jake D. We need to read Thomas and the Special Letter. Which should be in one of these. Here it is, the 8 famous engines. This is going to be the last story we read, and then it's on to lemandberg. Alright, double header. Here we go. And then after this, we will tell the story of lemandberg. I'm not going to be reading Thomas Goes Fishing just because it's kind of a boring story, and I think this is a very nice story to end the Thomas readings on because, it's a cap. Okay. Sir Topham Hatt's engines. One evening, Thomas brought his last train to the junction. He went for a drink. I'm going to the big station, he said to Percy and Toby. So are we, they answered. Do you know, Percy went on, I think something's up. Toby looked at the sky. Where? Down here, silly, laughed Thomas. How? asked Toby reasonably. Can something be up when it's down? Look, said Thomas excitedly, look! 7 engines from the other railway were coming along the line. Hello, Ginty, whistled Percy. Hello, Pug. They're friends of mine, he explained. I don't know the others. Ginty and Pug whistled cheerfully as they puffed through the station. What is all this? Asked Thomas. Sir Topham Hatt's got a plan, answered his driver, and he's going to tell it to us. Come on. So they followed Thomas to the big station at the end of the line, where all the engines had gone. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for them there. The people of England, he said, read about us in the storybooks, and they do not think we're real. Shame, squeaked Percy. Sir Topham Hatt glared, and Percy subsided. So, he continued, I am taking my engines to England to show them. Hooray, hooray, the engines whistled. Sir Topham Hatt held his ears. Silence, he bellowed. We start the day after tomorrow at 8 a.m. Meanwhile, as the engines have kindly come from the other railway to take your place, you will show them their work for tomorrow. The next day, as Annie and Clarabelle were going to England too, Thomas and Ginty practiced with some other coaches. Thomas was excited. He began boasting about his race with Birdie. I whooshed through the tunnel and stopped an inch from the buffers, like this. The buffers broke. No one was hurt, but Thomas's front was badly bent. They telephoned Sir Topham Hatt. I'll send up some men, he said, but if they can't mend Thomas in time, we'll go to England without him. The next morning, the engines waited at the junction. Toby and Percy were each on a flatbed, and Duck had pushed them into place behind Edward. Henrietta stood on a siding. Sir Topham had called her a curiosity. I wouldn't dream of leaving you behind, he said. I'll fit you up as my private coach. She felt very grand. Gordon, James, and Henry were in front. They whistled impatiently. Sir Topham Hatt paced the platform. He looked at his watch. 1 minute more, he said, turning to the guard. Peep, 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 whistled Thomas and panted into the station. Annie and Clarabelle twittered anxiously. We hope we're not late. We hope we're not late. It isn't quite 8. Thomas, says Thomas sternly, I am most displeased with you. You nearly upset my arrangements. Thomas, abashed, arranged himself in the coaches behind Duck without saying a word. Sir Topham Hatt climbed into Henrietta. The guard blew his whistle and waved his flag. The engines whistled. Sorry, I'm really tired. The engines whistled. Look out, England, here we come, and the cavalcade puffed off. Once there, the engines stood side by side in a big, airy shed. Hundreds of people came to see them and climbed in and out of their cabs every day. The engines liked it at first, but presently felt very bored and were glad when it was time to go home. When they got home, the people along their line put flags out and cheered. We are glad to see you, they said. The others did their best, but they don't know our ways. Nothing anywhere can compare with Sir Topham Hatt's engines. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are 4 stories from the Railway series. And it is now exactly 10:30, basically. So I think just before we go, I will play the Lemandberg National Anthem, I guess. Let me get the guitar. Okay, I'm back with the guitar. I don't bring it out often, but you can try this. Sorry. All right, here we go. I heard there was a special place where men can go and emancipate the brutality and tyranny of their rulers. Well, this place is where you meet and fret with Wilbur, Tommy, Tubbo, and Skarloey. A very big and not blown up lemandberg. I'm a lemandberg. I'm a lemandberg. I'm a lemandberg. I'm a lemandberg. And that's the Lemandberg National Anthem. Kind of. I don't know like the other two chords that are in this song. I only know the C and A minor. But that's that. Okay, I'm just gonna put the book away. Okay, kids, you had 4 bedtime stories and a song. I hope that is enough for you guys. I hope you guys now all tired and ready to go to sleep. I know I am, definitely. Salute to Lemandberg. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys whenever I stream again. I'm now quarantined for 2 weeks. It's nothing big. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. But thank you guys for watching. I'm now home for 2 weeks, so I'll probably stream again. Can I get a glass of water? No, you cannot get a glass of water. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I might do this again sometime in the future, but not anymore. I'm tired. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys sometime